Hey there. Welcome to another episode of Heart and Hustle, Visionary Healers, Movers, and Shakers. I am your host, Paulette Rees-Denis, here to bring you magic makers from around the globe, people who are creating change, who have small businesses, large businesses, hobbies, but they are creating the life of their dreams. And that, my friends, is what living is all about. So let us know how you like this episode. Please subscribe, and we'll see you there. Thanks for joining. Hey, my friends. Welcome to another episode of Heart and Hustle, Visionary Healers, Movers, and Shakers. And I am your host, Paulette Rees-Denis. I am your magic maker and your movement motivator. And I am so excited. So today is going to be a little bit different. And I love. I'm so excited about having this episode with you. I have my niece with me today who is making major changes in people's lives in Columbus, Ohio, and I'm sure reaching out further than that. But we're talking with artists today who, Myken, you could probably talk a little bit better than I can about this. But so Myken Pullins is here with us today.
Sure.
Welcome,
Hello.
Myken.
Hi. Happy to be here.
And Myken works with artists who have disabilities, emotional, physical disabilities of some sorts. And she does this amazing work, and I was there in December for a huge art opening, huge, like a couple blocks big in Columbus, to this art opening, and I was so taken with the artist that her company, which is Fresh Air Gallery, is representing. I was so taken with the art, but also with these artist stories, and these are women who were there showing their artwork, which was outstanding, and their stories. And Myken is really working on supporting these artists to live fruitful lives, right? So Myken, you want to talk a little bit about that?
Sure.
What you do?
Yeah, sure. So I work for a nonprofit behavioral health care organization here in Columbus, Ohio. It's called Southeast Healthcare. And it's one of the largest behavioral health care centers in Ohio. But we're so broad and wide in our services and innovative in our programming that we have different things going on, not just behavioral health and primary health care, but we also operate a art gallery, and it's called Fresh Air. And AIR is an acronym for Artists in Recovery. So yeah, and so it's let's see, I've been there almost 16 years. The gallery was created about 17 years ago, so I started right after the concept of having Fresh Air. Yeah, so it's been pretty cool. And it was created to help break down the stigma that people have against mental illness and substance use disorders. And so it's a mission-based gallery, and it's special because we're out there educating people in our community about who we are and what we do, and really focusing on the artistic vision. That's part of our mission. So it's been life-changing for a lot of the artists that we've worked with over the years, because
it's so good. I love what you said about changing the stigma.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because we're all part of this life we live in. We're all part of this circle. Yeah. And everybody has their issues or their ways of being or whatever, and it's all important.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm just going to say really quick there, Myken has a lot of background noise because she's in a big open air gallery. So I'm sorry about the guys talking in the background, but we can't do anything about that. So if that's what you're hearing, I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, I'm in a space right now in downtown Columbus that's part of an arts district, and we're in like an old industrial building where studios were built about 5 years ago.
Really beautiful.
Beautiful. And it's because Fresh Air has done so well over the years, we were grant funded this space, and it's about 1,100 square feet of studio space that we're in, amongst like 100 other art studios in the building. So there's, background noise and things that happen, construction and whatnot that goes on.
So Myken, tell me, so you've been at this place for 16 years.
Yeah.
What motivates you to do this work?
I think it's life-changing work, honestly. I love sharing the stories and empowering the people that I come in contact with and giving them their moment to shine however I can in my job, both professionally and even personally. A lot of the artists that I've met over the years have become friends of mine, and also it's formed a community of people in our area that they support each other, they motivate each other, inspire each other, and that just really, I think, a big part of recovery for them, and even for me, I mean, it's the highlight of my day when I get to work with the artists and showcase their artwork or help them sell a painting or turn them on to another gallery or opportunity that the community might have that they can maybe get a foot in the door. I think that's what inspires me the most, is just meeting these people, and sharing their artistic vision.
I love that. So when you say artists in recovery, so is that like what's the recovery?
So the recovery is mental health. It's recovery from, mental illness. It's their mental health. It can also be, addiction recovery, substance use disorders. We call it SUD here locally, recovery from addiction and or mental health issues. So, it's a journey. It's something that, that they work on every day of their lives. And, it's a big part of their lives. And so having this art component, can be really life transforming for some of these folks. I mean, it's their livelihood. And they're so talented, and it's awesome to be able to share that with people here locally and also, worldwide.
And to help them make an income.
Absolutely.
From their work, right?
Big deal too.
So in this particular space that you're in right now, so that's the space that I visited, and you had 3 artists, I think, at the time.
We had 4. Yeah, we had 3 at the time when you were here. Mm-hmm.
And do you have other spaces, or how many artists do you represent?
Okay, so we have a gallery that is located in downtown Columbus, but it's been closed for 2.5 years because of COVID.
Oh, great.
I know. So we've had to close it and kind of use that space as like a screening tool for our clients that are coming in for appointments. But luckily, we have this studio that we're in today that is grant funded, helps pay the rent. So we've been lucky enough to sustain the studio for the past 5 years. Wow. And now we're using it as like a professional gallery exhibition space. And we're able to showcase, one artist every 6 weeks in this space, as well as having 4 kind of like resident artists working out of the space. So the artists that we work with, they all meet our mission criteria, which is their lives have been affected by mental illness and substance use disorders, and they're in recovery and focusing on their artistic vision. So we've invited them into our space, and they're working out of the space, selling work out of the space. It's just a full running studio. They, it's their, they have access to it 24/7, just like any other tenant would. And it's pretty thriving here in Columbus. The arts community is very top heavy.
It's beautiful.
Fantastic. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I actually bought a piece of art when I was there.
Yes.
I was so excited. I could have bought a lot of things when I was there. But so this is a full-time job for you and a full-time passion. And so who do we have today? Who are we talking to today? This is exciting. I'm so excited. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's really wonderful. The 2 artists that we're going to be, you'll be introduced to are Kristen and Rebecca, and they're both visual artists, but they have 2 very unique styles, completely different from each other. So I'll be so excited to introduce them whenever you're ready. And,
all right. Well, why don't we start with Rebecca?
Okay, Rebecca. I'll turn it over to Rebecca. Thanks, Paulette.
All right. And you can stay in too, Myken.
Okay. I'll let you take the chair.
Hi, Rebecca. So today is Rebecca Gonzalez Bartoli. We're here with. I'm so happy to see you again. So I got to meet Rebecca briefly when I was at the art show in December and was completely taken with your beautiful artwork. And when talking to you about your story, which is what actually inspired this whole video podcast today. And so, how are you? Welcome.
Oh, I'm good. I'm good. I actually just got over COVID, so
Oh
doing
God.
really good.
Man, I'm telling you, whew,
Uh,
this thing. But I'm so happy that you're here today, and thank you for spending time with me
yeah, I'm
and
so
with
happy.
all of us out here in our heart and hustle land. So, Rebecca, your art was just outstanding, and when I was talking to you, you started sharing some of your story.
Mhm.
So, a lot of this is about, and I actually love the quote that you posted on your bio, and you said, "Keep the rage tender."
Yes, yes.
So, so talk to me a little bit about what inspires you now to make art.
You know, art is basically like this life force I have. It's not even like a choice anymore. It's like I have to do art as a way to keep living. Like it's I need it. I need it to express myself. I need it to like be happy.
Mhm.
And you know, being young and having trauma that I went through, it was really hard for me to express myself verbally. Like I really struggled talking about things. But with my art, it's a way for me to express myself that's like healthy, and
Uh-huh.
it's also really enjoyable for me, and it's very like therapeutic. So
So
I
it's
feel
almost
like
like a language, right?
yeah, it is. It is. Art for me is like something I have to do all the time. Like it's just part of me.
I get that. I totally get that because you have to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I know that we're talking a little bit about our um, emotional or physical disabilities that we've grown up with,
Mhm.
and you had OCD and were diagnosed with schizoaffective disorder.
Yeah. At 20, so I was diagnosed with OCD at 7, and then went through like a bunch of mental health stuff, just really had a hard time. And then when I was 20, I was hospitalized long term and diagnosed schizoaffective. And at that moment, I thought my life was over. Like I really did. I had all these dreams. I was in art school. I was
Mhm.
I
So
had
you
these
were already making art.
Yes, art has been with me since I was a child.
Nice.
And when I realized that my dreams weren't gonna come to fruition because I needed to focus 100% on my recovery, it was crushing. It was hard, and it was hard to feel motivated to create art, but I still did it in different ways. Like I did nail art. That was something that was really special to me because was able to express myself creatively, but it wasn't too taxing because the emotional and like even the physical strain of having a severe mental illness is like it takes a lot out of you. It really
Mm,
does.
mm.
And now with Fresh Air Gallery, I was like, when I became a client at Southeast, they told me about the Fresh Air Gallery, and I was like, that's amazing, but I don't think they'll ever like want me to do that. Like I don't think I'll ever be picked. And then um
And so how long ago was that?
that was 5 years ago.
Okay.
And then Lauren Pond, we had some communication. She's like, you should apply. And I was like, okay. And I did. And I got in, and it's been really life changing. It really has, like, those dreams I had when I was 20, 19 years old, they're like reignited. Like I have another chance, even though it's later in life. Like, I get that chance like everyone else. And I think that's so special. That's
Mm.
so special to give people an opportunity who had to go through something like a severe mental illness or substance use disorder. So it's just been like really exciting because I get to become the artist that I dreamed about when I was a child.
Oh my God, isn't that beautiful? That's so beautiful. And what an amazing opportunity
Oh yeah.
amongst the pain and the process, right? Yeah.
for sure.
And so in the recovery process, what was involved in that for you?
During recovery, so I went to many hospitalizations, like probably 9 or 10 in about 6 years. It was really intense with the hospitalizations. I had a lot of medication. I was, zombied out basically because of all the medication they have. Yeah. So that was another reason it was hard to like finish a painting, because when you're on so much medication, you really feel like numb. Like there's no days just go in and out. Like there's nothing. And I went to a psych rehab, which was like they taught you life skills and did group therapy and like learned how to deal with schizoaffective and schizotypical illnesses. But I also did personal things, like I started journaling and I did meditation and
Yay!
and I did all these like spiritual things too, because that was an important side of it that I felt like I had more control over. Like I can change how I see the world. I might not be able to change my brain chemically, but I can change how I react to things and how I see things.
Yes.
So that was something I worked on for years. And then when I moved to Columbus in 2016, that was the last year I was in a hospital. So I haven't been in a hospital in about 6 years.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And you've been painting like full time now.
Painting full time. Yeah, these are
Love it. Art,
yeah.
yes. Art as recovery. Art
Yes,
as
exactly.
therapy, art as self-expression. That's so beautiful. Well, I love your work and I love your story. Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
So now what medium is that?
This is actually Bic pen, Crayola marker, and gel pen, because when I was in the hospital, they didn't have art supplies. They had Crayola markers and Bic pens. So I was feeling like the need to create art, though. I was really feeling it. So I would do portraits of the other patients in Crayola marker in that style. I would sketch it with the pen and then, color it with the Crayola marker, and it just stuck. I was like, this is something that's special now, because it brought me such happiness in the hospital and peace. So now I just do it now all the time.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And so when you are creating a painting now, where does that inspiration come from?
All types of things, it back in the day, my art was a lot darker. It was an expression of grief mostly. These days I have joy and my colors are brighter. I take inspiration from an emotion I'm feeling. Like I have a painting called Stress. It's just intuitive drawing that I created and then just painted, just instinctively. And it was just based on how I was stressed out. And I also do a lot of self-portraits because I feel like that's the person I know the most is myself. So I try to reflect different emotions and different things I'm going through in these self-portraits.
Fantastic. Well, I'm so delighted that you have this place and this opportunity, and the work that Fresh Air is doing is
It's incredible.
really
I'm so
good.
thankful. I really am. Like it's like I said, it's been life changing. It's totally like ignited this spark in me. Like I'm ready to go.
And you are. I love it. I love it. And your work shows it too, which is beautiful. And I just wish you so much happiness and joy on your journey and great success.
Yeah.
So that's
Thank
so
you
beautiful.
so
And
much.
thanks for being here today.
Yeah, thank you. This was fun.
Love it. Love it. I hope to see you again soon.
Yeah.
All right. So then we've got Kristin coming in. There's Myken. Right. Hi, Kristen.
Hey, how are you?
Good. So this is Kristen Morris, and I met you in December, I guess whenever that was, I think, when I was there. And again, the same thing, just taken with your artwork and your stories and the work that Myken has helped doing with this gallery and this beautiful opportunity that you have. So tell me a little bit about what's going on for you.
Well, it's been a great opportunity for me being part of Fresh Air here at the gallery, giving me a place to work and just being connected with Fresh Air in general. I had a show with Fresh Air back in 2017, I believe. And it's funny because at the time, like, I was pretty nervous about, I knew that they gave shows for people with substance abuse or mental health issues. And I have bipolar disorder and OCD. And at the time, I was thinking, I really don't know if I want to apply because I don't want to come out about my mental illness. And then I thought, well, what the heck? I'm going to apply and just see what happens. So I applied and I got the show. And it was amazing because I have not had one negative comment about anything about my history, my story. And people have been coming out of the woodwork telling me about their mental health issues and and depression. And it's just opened up so many doors for me. It's just amazing.
I love that. And so that was a few years ago. So now you're here in this gallery, this session, or however long this is for you. And do you feel like, I mean, it's empowering to hear your story. And like you said, people coming out of the woodwork. So it's as if you are setting a precedent. You're taking a leadership role and saying, hey, I can do this, you can do this, right?
I think
Do you
so.
feel that?
Definitely. Yeah. I'm hoping that, other people realize that they can use their creativity and actually just be inspired by each other, and say, I can do this too. Because I just look at some of the stuff that I go through, and then I think the gallery has just had such a positive impact on my life, getting to meet new people and work with other people and having an opportunity to show my work and everything.
Well, and it's like, it's also knowing you're not alone, right?
Exactly.
You're not the only one. It's like, you don't have to suffer, quote unquote, in silence, but to come out and own what you're going through. I mean, that's, as a coach, I work with my clients like that all the time. It's like, you are who you are. We're all unique and fabulous. And that doesn't mean there's anything wrong or whatever. And so what has your recovery process been like?
It's been a long time. Like, I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder around 2000, but I've had OCD my entire life. I know because when I was like 3 years old, my mom was tying my shoes and they had to be tied exactly in the middle. And I just had this symmetry stuff going on my whole life. So I think I had my first hospitalization when I was, I think, around 28. I've been hospitalized many times. I've been in partial day hospitalization, day treatment, counseling. I think the counseling has been, just all the treatment I've had has had such an amazing effect on my life. I've had some really, really good therapy. I take a lot of medications, which I'm not happy about, but if it's keeping me stable, then that's what I need to do. But I really think that art has totally saved my life. I mean, if I know for a fact that if I didn't have art, I would be dead. I mean, art is just something that I live 24/7 and constantly thinking of things I want to make, things I want to do, just it's all the time, and I have a hard time sleeping at night because I think partly the racing thoughts, but also I'm like, what am I going to make?
You're creating all the time. I understand that.
You can relate.
Yeah, I totally can relate. Yeah, I don't sleep well either. It's lots of projects. But so how long have you been making art? Did you start making art when you were a kid?
Well, I think for as long as I can remember. My mom is a potter. So she started throwing pots probably when I was a few years old. And I don't know if she liked it because she was getting peace and quiet from my brother and I driving her crazy and going to the art center and just like getting away from us, or if it was the fact that, she just liked what she was doing. But she used to do art shows and I wanted something to sell too. So when I was about 6 years old, someone introduced me to Sculpey. So I started making these little tiny snakes to like sell at art shows.
Uh-huh.
And I've been doing art shows for probably like 40 some years, but it kind of evolved into
You
like what
started
I'm
when you
now.
were 6.
I did, yeah.
I love it. And of course you're still you're a sculptor, right?
Yes.
Is that
Uh-huh.
is that your main art, right?
It is. It is. I do mainly sculpture and ceramic sculpture, different kinds. Myken has one here. This is a, elephant that I did named Guy. I put names on everything. And then I also do found object pieces. So this is a robot that I made that the head turns around
Oh, I love it. Oh my
out of
gosh.
a corkscrew. So I do a variety of different kinds of things. And I like to paint too, but I mainly paint my sculptures.
Yeah. And that's just a life-saving thing for you to make art, to create.
It is.
Yeah. So what is next? What's next for you?
Um, that's a good question. I've been sewing more. I've been getting into sewing, so I want to incorporate some of my sculpture with some of my sewing. Trying to think. I'd like to illustrate a book about my experiences, kind of with mental illness and
Oh,
with.
wow.
I like to write too. I've been doing a lot of meditation, so to kind of calm my mind. But I've been kind of writing a book for the last few years, and I'd like to illustrate it, and a mental health type book.
Oh, that
So,
would be fantastic. That would be so awesome.
so
Do
I
it. Do it. Do it. Another project to not sleep over.
like, like I don't have enough to do already, but
Right, right. Oh, well, again, I was so taken with your artwork and your story, which I think is important that people hear. So I really thank you for sharing that
thank you.
with us today. And I know Mike can sent me some pictures and images of everybody's art, so that's really cool that I can share too when this goes out live. Um, any questions or comments for me?
I'm trying to think. See, so you teach writing as well, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I run a journaling and writing class every week,
Okay.
which is combined a little bit with my coaching. So I'm a lifestyle and business coach, and I've written 4 books.
Oh wow. That's
So, and self-published all of them.
maybe I can get some information to you from you as I get closer to working on
Yeah,
it.
yeah, you can do it. You can do it, and it's so easy now. It's so easy to do that kind of work these days. Um, years ago when I first started, when did my first book come out? Geez, I can't even think. 18, 1980 something or 1990 something.
Yeah.
But then my last one came out last year, and it's so much easier now because of technology is so different.
Uh-huh.
But yes, everyone can write a book. And I think your story would be really poignant and important.
Well, thank you. And it's interesting because I love to draw too. So it would be fun, I think, to do the illustrations and then I'll write the book with about my experiences. So.
Right. And again, I think your story is really inspirational and really important for other people to hear. Other people who suffer the same kind of disorders or similar disorders, and know that they're not alone, and know that there's things they can do to move forward, which you're doing with such beauty and the fact that you've been able to show in this gallery and sell your work is outstanding.
Well, we've been provided so many opportunities through Fresh Air as far as being in other shows. And there's well, I think you came to Franklinton Fridays, the second Friday of every month, when we can show our artwork for people coming through the gallery. And it's really worked out to just be a great experience for me. Cool. And I hope it continues.
Great. Well, many blessings to you for that.
Thank you so much.
Great success. Yeah. All right. Let's bring Myken back.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Thanks, Kristen. Oh, so inspirational, Myken.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
such incredible work. And I mean, I wish you could like take fresh air and put it in every town.
Yeah.
You
A
know?
lot of other, I guess, maybe nonprofits and for-profits, they reach out to Fresh Air every so often and they want to display artwork that, is from our artists that we kind of like represent, even though we don't have a contract with those folks, we still know who they are and know where to
Mhm.
find them and kind of know what their current work is. So yeah, I mean, it is kind of spreading and growing, and we are out there in the community and, you know, talking about our mission and showing the work, and it's pretty phenomenal, really. I think next up is we have a big hospital system here in Columbus called Ohio Health, and one of their hospitals wants to showcase one of our artists and share their story, so we're going to help curate that show coming up. And
Excellent.
yeah.
Wow. That's
Hmm.
incredible. Well, you're doing really, really great work. And I'm glad that you're so passionate about it.
Thank you.
And, being able to offer these artists these opportunities.
Absolutely.
So good.
It's
And
been a
you're
great
really
thing.
good at what you do.
Thank you. But when you enjoy what you do, it's super easy. So
Yeah. I mean, this woman puts on fundraisers and, these big
oh,
dinners and
we can throw a big party with lots of people and lots of art and
yeah,
wine.
I know. Well, that's
All the
all.
good
There
things.
you go. What else
Yeah.
do you need? That's great. Well, thank you, Myken, for being here with me and bringing in your artists for us to share and highlight today. And so good. And
Thank
may
you.
all your artists prosper, and may your work prosper and grow, and um, spread the
Thank you.
love. Got to spread the
Absolutely.
love, right?
Yeah. Thank you so much.
All right. And thank you, everybody out in Heart and Hustle Land. What an insightful conversation. And, a lot of times we don't know these things that are going on in other little parts of the world, other little cities, other little galleries, whatever. But bringing everyone out to share in the circle of life. So that's beautiful. So thank you, Heart and Hustle lovers and listeners. I'm really grateful to have you here. I am Paulette Rees-Denis, your host of Heart and Hustle, Visionary Healers, Movers, and Shakers. And there is the sign behind me with a big, big circle of light. It's my halo behind us. And until we meet again, many blessings.